takes. She let me play with her face. Busting it down for the gram. Know how to get to the bands. I fuck with Lil' Mama, she bad. Lil' Mama know what it takes. She let me play in her face. Busting it down for the gram. Know how to get to the bag. I fuck with Lil' Mama, she bad.
Shorty bad, she freaky. She asked me, do I love her like Kiki? No, tryna fuck like 3 of these hoes. Tryna put her on the TV show. Yeah, I fucked a few messy hoes. Be like, come straight from Mexico. Pull it out and I bless these hoes. Yeah, I fuck, but don't ask me though. I got the sauce and I got the juice and I got the bag. Louis Vuitton, I'm dripping, don't look at my bag. Yeah, I'm getting money, you can see my teeth. If you look a little closer, you gon' see that heat. She a freak like Superhead. Yeah, I swear I get buku head. It don't matter what race she is. Black, white, or them Asian chicks. Move your body like a snake, mama. Nasty little freak, she be causing problems. Pretty red thing, she be wildin' out. I don't even like her pussy, I just like her mouth. She told me shoot it in her face. I shot it all in her face. She said she like how it tastes.
Freak. Lil' Mama know what it takes. She let me play with her face. Busting it down for the gram. Know how to get to the bands. I fuck with Lil' Mama, she bad. Lil' Mama know what it takes. She let me play in her face. Busting it down for the gram. Know how to get to the bag. I fuck with Lil' Mama, she bad. Fucking up this paper. Bitch, you know the motto. Pussy super good, she got me tipping on the motto. Fucking in the foreign. This the latest model. Getting hit all through New Orleans. Bitch, I'm hitting every pothole. She a freak, I love her thigh-ho. Bust it down like full flash. She ain't tripping off no paper. She had love with me before that. That's why I pop her off. Fendi on her socks and drawers. Chanel around November. Christmas, sister Louboutin. She get drunk and she get kinky. We just fuck, she wanna repeat. I'm a boss, but I don't boss her. She just pop that pussy freely. She get the bag on GP. Just talk the throat with the sweet tea. I like her more when she freaky. I put this dick on her weekly. Freak. Lil' Mama know what it takes. She let me play with her face. Busting it down for the gram. Know how to get to the bands. I fuck with Lil' Mama, she bad. Lil' Mama know what it takes. She let me play in her face. Busting it down for the gram. Know how to get to the bag. I fuck with Lil' Mama, she bad.
Not one, not two, not you. She bad, not you. My bitch, top two. Freaky, 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 freaky.
Woke up in the morning, say good morning to the haters. Rolling up so lovely, get high like elevators. Stay intoxicated, sipping number 5 racer. Pull over to the side, I'm in the mouth like now and later. Woke up in the morning, say good morning to the haters. Rolling up so lovely, get high like elevators. Stay intoxicated, sipping number 5 racer. Pull over to the side, I'm in the mouth like now and later. These little motherfuckers, they be hating on the stilo. Pull up in the foreign, step out dripping like a Migo. West side, California, like I'm Depot. Little bad bitch, dark hair, look like she go. I take my whole back, that's a repo. 2 dime pieces, that's a Fico. I represent the Bay every year like I'm D-Lo. I pop a couple mushrooms just to take my ego. I'm just trying to get it poppin'. Wake up in the morning, power hour, Tony Robbins. I seen you drop a couple albums, but these niggas flopping. Gotta do whatever necessary, hustle's never stopping. I just gotta keep it moving. Winning streak, Charlie Rocket never losing. You say you bout it, but you talking never proving. The dope I got from Ruben got these motherfuckers grooving. I'm the teacher, you the student. When I'm preaching, it be fluent. Little baby, what you doing? Back the thing up on me, make you wish you never knew him.
Rock bottle on the track, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Lady Fresh, keep it real, and that's a fact. She gon' tell it like it is, that's just that on that. Yeah, yeah, that's just that on that. This the fresh perspective with Lady Fresh. Lady Fresh, keep it real, and that's a fact. She gon' tell it like it is, that's just that on that. Yeah, yeah, that's just that on that. Tune in every week, rockin' with Lady Fresh.
I appreciate it.
Brother, let's cut that back.
You know, like I said, I always try to express my appreciation, to everybody. It's a lot of
Fresh perspective, real empowerment, you better be respected. Lady Fresh on the motherfucking check-in. Breezy got her back, she stay protected. This the fresh perspective, real empowerment, you better be respected. This for the dreamers, it's to get you through the night. Not for the haters that you they don't come outside.
Lady Fresh Brown, and that just kind of started from there.
Hello, everybody. Good evening on this Saturday. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Not a bunch of screeching, and hopefully my mic is working the way it's supposed to. So this is an impromptu live today. I actually was not going to go live because once again, I am on the road. So I just was sitting here, had an early day, and just figured, why not hang out with the people? But I really didn't have any content. I didn't know what to come up here and talk to you guys about. So we're going to kind of freestyle. But as you can see, I'm not going to be doing this alone. A little bit, we're going to have the lovely Eve joining us. You can see. She'll be joining us in a little while, and we're just going to talk some stuff and just, unwind a little bit. Got a little bit of drinks going on. I got my homegirl here in town. One of my best friends is here. So we're just having some drinks, and we actually got to work tomorrow. So that's why I wasn't going to do a live today. I'm going to take a look at the chat and see who all is with us. Hopefully you guys are doing good tonight. Let's see. I see my Harlem girl. Salute, baby girl. Karaoke and food with sweet tea in the building. Make sure you drop your link so people can subscribe. You guys, she be making some amazing food over there. Let me see. Smooth Carter, salute. Fresh Breezy, my king. Hope you're enjoying yourself out of town. Let's see. The Dirty Kenzo. Thank you so much for tuning in. What else we got in here? Don Philly, salute. My Jen, hey girl. So happy to see you. I missed you last episode. A boy, shout out to A boy. My boo, salute. Bonnet Light Body. I put the link on Instagram for you, Bonnet. So once Eve gets here, feel free to tap in. We got some of the drunkles in the chat. Bonnet Light Body and Fresh Breezy in here. I'm pretty certain if Jay isn't busy, he'll pop into the chat at some point. Let's see who else is in here. I already saw my. Girl, I understand about having to work. Y'all almost didn't get no live because I have to work. I'm working through the weekends and launching a new business. Whew, I don't know who told me to do that and still try to do regular work and still try to come up with content. I think I might be a little crazy. Just a little bit. But hey, we got to work, right? We got to do what we got to do. But I'm looking forward to having a day or two off next week so I can kind of relax a little bit and prepare for the Rich Verbs interview. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to make sure I play one or two of his tracks today just to familiarize you guys with him. He has a new podcast with his co-host is Two Peas in a Podcast. That's kind of dope. Two Peas in a Podcast. And I believe they come on Wednesdays, if I'm not mistaken. So um definitely going to be pushing that and supporting that, getting some excellent perspective from two young black men, the voices that we need to hear more often. So they have that platform, and it's actually very informative. I think they're into their 6th episode, and it's actually really dope. So make sure you check that out. That's Two Peas in a Podcast with Rich Verbs, and he'll be here next Wednesday on the Fresh Perspective. We're going to talk about the podcast, and we're going to talk about his music. So make sure you tune in for that. And then we also have coming up very soon the interview that no one ever wants to miss. I'll be interviewing Maine the Milkman. We're going to go behind the bar, and we're gonna really get down to the nitty gritty and talk about some things. So you definitely don't want to miss that. We will release the date of the interview on Wednesday. So we're gonna start promoting that. Tell everybody to tune in because I think it's gonna be a really good time. Get to see him in a different element and finally understand some things about the man behind the bar. So look forward to that interview of Maine the Milkman. Okay, let's see. Salute. Welcome to the Fresh Perspective. Thank you for tuning in. So I'm gonna show you guys. So the drunk uncles or the drunkles. You guys, let me know what name you like better. They like them both. The drunkles really sounds like some drunk shit to me. Like really combining both. I mean, you already had the drunk uncles, which was already drunky, and then they spelled it wrong because they really drunky, but now you combine in the drunk and the uncle and it's spelled wrong. That's just crazy, but it fits. It sounds good. It flows. And so I think we have a new promo piece that they are going to be using. I'm going to put this up. Tell me what you guys think. I like the name Drunkles. Look out, y'all, the Drunkles podcast. And what's so funny is they don't have their own platform, really. They are just bum rushing everybody. So, you never know where you will see them. They may pop up here tonight. I'm gonna drop the link. So that way, if they want to come up, they can. But you never know where you're gonna see them. They may pop up here, they may pop up anywhere. So, just look out for that because they're hilarious. I like the Drunkles. I think that's a dope name. Y'all like this banner? Of course, shout out to Willie B. He's working, so he's not tuning in tonight, but I know he would be here. He made this for them, so we're promoting them as much as we can. The Drunkles. I love it. All right, y'all. So what y'all been up to? Like I said, I didn't really have a lot planned today. I dropped the link for Bonnet and whoever wants to come up and talk a little bit. It's a freestyle show. Wednesdays are more of my interview shows. Those are more structured. On the weekend, you never know what you're gonna get. Okay. And you never know what I'm gonna be drinking. Eyes already a little low. I got to drink early so I can, I got work tomorrow. Let's see. What is it? Jen wrote a paragraph. What did she write? Up since 5 a.m. Softball tournament tomorrow. Be up early for Lord, so I have to get to bed. Much love you, my Jen. Thank you for popping in. I totally understand, girl. I'm getting on the road at 5:30 in the morning because I have surgery in Oklahoma City. So the smart thing probably would have been to just go ahead down there now. But I wanted to hang out with you guys. Girl, you don't have to apologize. I'm just happy to see you. You can write me as many paragraphs as you want. You get some rest. Hopefully, you had a good time with the softball tournaments or whatever you were doing. Um, Shout out to you. You've been a huge support to me. Here in the chat and even behind the scenes. So thank you so much, my Jen. Get you some rest. Um, and hopefully I'll see you next Wednesday for the interview. So, y'all see my Celtics though? Oh no. Breezy is really on his petty shit now. Who knows how many more videos he's gonna make? But the Celtics are looking really, really good right now. We took a L the first game, but that second game though, yeah, it was a wrap before it even started. So I'm expecting to see the Celtics and probably Golden State in the finals. Which I think, yeah, I think the Celtics I think they can beat Miami. I think they can beat them. We'll see. But basketball season, that's my favorite season. I don't really do football too much. I mean, I don't really think it's for us anyway, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I just never, growing up in New York, because people ask me living in the South why I don't watch football. They're like, well, what the hell? You don't like football. But growing up in New York is small. The city is small. So it's built up this way versus that way. So football stadiums are really big. They take up a lot of land we don't have. In fact, anybody that knows football, like the NFL, our football stadiums are not even in New York City. They're in New Jersey. The Giants and the Jets play in New Jersey. So that goes to show you how much we don't really have the space. So growing up, when I was in high school, junior high school, we had sports, but it was basketball, sometimes baseball, and you had like some of the high schools like outside of the city. Like I think there might have been one in the Bronx and maybe one in Brooklyn, but like Long Island, places like that were close to the city, they had football stadiums. But as far as like the inner city, the high schools, we didn't have football stadiums. So we had to do basketball. So when you were a cheerleader, everything was basketball. So I grew up with it. I got a lot of brothers. So basketball was really, and I always liked the Celtics for some reason. I don't know. My whole household were Knicks fans, but they were losers my whole life. I think the last time they won was like 1972. Yeah. So I don't know what it is about the Celtics. I liked them ever since I was a kid. I think it was because they had a white man playing basketball. It was like Larry Bird, right? And even before him, you had Kevin McHale, which was Breezy's favorite. So I didn't become a Celtics fan because of my husband. A lot of people think that, but that's not true. I was actually a fan before him. That just actually made us closer. But I just thought it was cool that there was a white man playing basketball. So, I guess that's why I started liking them. But I just continued to like them all through school. Got to college, still liked the Celtics. And then when they had the big three, when they made all the trades and they were able to get, oh my God, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, like that was it for me. Rajon Rondo, Paul Pierce, like Sam Cassell was on his way out of there. Like that was like a dynamic team. And you couldn't tell me we weren't going to win a championship. I knew that was going to happen. And it did. So it's about time. That was what, 2009? It's about time for us to win another one. So shout out to the Celtics. We're gonna pull an upset this year because they're not favored to win. I don't honestly, even though they were second, I don't think they were even favored to go as far as they were. That was an upset when they beat. It was an upset when they beat Milwaukee. So if they take the chip, I'm gonna be very proud. I'll definitely be going live. That's gonna be the highlight of the week. So Breezy, I don't even know. If y'all been following him on Instagram, he been doing some real petty stuff with these Celtics. So I can only imagine how he's gonna behave once they win the chip. So let's see. I am going to play a little bit of music while we wait on Eve, my EVE. She was on her way home, so she should be coming up shortly. It's not going to be an overly long live today, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to pop in with you all and just see what's going on. I was trying to stay as consistent as possible. You know, I've been trying to do the 2 a week. I've been trying to stay consistent and do a episode on Saturday or Sunday, and do one on Wednesday. So I have my Wednesdays, which are, interviews. If you have topics that you want to see, if you have guests that you would like me to cover, issues you want addressed, here's the email. Email me at thefreshperspective22@gmail.com. That's how you get the information to me and let me know, if you have music. That's what I need. I need that desperately. I need music, and I don't want music that we hear every day. I want music of the artists who are coming up, or artists that are, they're underrated, that they're not getting their due. I want to play their music here. I want to get it out to the world. I want everyone on YouTube to hear it. So please don't hesitate to send me music. Send me questions. We're going to be doing a Ask Lady Fresh or Ask Fresh, whichever one sounds better. We'll do a segment with Ask Fresh where your emails get sent. You ask a question and I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. So we're going to be starting that segment soon. So please utilize the email or reach out to me on IG. All right. I'm going to find some music for you guys. Get a song or two play here. Like I said, it's not going to be a long show. So let me get some music. I'm going to play Major by Drado Streets. That's my nephew, y'all. That's who y'all heard the first intro. He did my intro, and he's actually going to make it a full-length song. So I'm going to play his song Major. And this is Drado Streets.
This shit major. This shit major. This shit major. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. All every day that I wake up. Gotta thank the Lord for my haters. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. Blew through a bag, nothing major. Nigga lifestyle high maintenance. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. All every day that I wake up. Gotta thank the Lord for my haters. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. Blew through a bag, nothing major. Nigga lifestyle high maintenance. I'm hearing you stepping on the pavement. Spin down on the op in flavor. Cody came with the car like a Taylor. Smooth through my city like the mail. Versace cloth, that's a light linen. My neck and my wrist, that's a life sentence. What I got in the trunk, I can get the chair. Probably had them first if you seen a pair. Stepping new Balenci's. Yeah. Be right here, 15 a pair. Probably fucked your bitch if you seen her there. Never beef over hoes, niggas seem to care. Puff song got me seeing clear. I'ma drop a bag, never drop a tear. Got the fully stashed and the mind clear. I just checked the bag, that amount clear. Got your bitch getting nasty on camera. Throwing through that money like a scammer. Streets on lock, got a handle. All the water on me, no paddle. Bitch, you keep asking me to fuck. Had to tell the hoes I got standards. Bitch ass nigga, no manners. Bitch ass nigga, no manners. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. All every day that I wake up. Gotta thank the Lord for my haters. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. Blew through a bag, nothing major. Nigga lifestyle high maintenance. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. All every day that I wake up. Gotta thank the Lord for my haters. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. Blew through a bag, nothing major. Nigga lifestyle high maintenance.
You know I went big on big. Ain't gonna tell the folks what the fuck I did. Couple niggas hating in the back. Fuck them niggas, but it is what it is. I was having paper back then. Wait for a nigga started having motion. Shit got major on the way. They can have more mood in the ocean. These niggas way too friendly. These niggas might need a buddy. The bitch get done like get ugly. I send them to the moon, need the fuck nigga tell me. Treat this cat pat like a bucket. Teach your little hoe how to suck it. Alley from Drado, I nut on her Fado. We finished, she know not to touch me. Bitch of the mayor, I'm having them flavors. Face you an order and meet me on favor. Boy, you a captain, this hoe going down. Eating dick in the back, you cannot save her. Minigun size is a pager. All my gun came with a laser. Hold on my name and you know the little game. Shit done got too major.
Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. All every day that I wake up. Gotta thank the Lord for my haters. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. Blew through a bag of major. Nigga lifestyle high maintenance. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. All every day that I wake up. Gotta thank the Lord for my haters. Trip too strong, shit major. This shit major. Blew through a bag of major. Nigga lifestyle high maintenance.
Sit back while I bless this tree. All my people, may you R.I.P. We miss you all day. We always keep it cool, man. Keep it pushing, no one tribute it until then. Sit back while I bless this tree. All my people, may you R.I.P. We miss you all day. We always keep it cool, man. Keep it pushing, no one tribute it until then.
I'm aging older than old folks. Throwback caps and sacks rolling in ghost smokes. Peep lokes, yeah, rolling be the motto. Now I said tripping, so I ain't packing hollows today. I'm born and back in the bay. I kick it like it's kung fu, feeling some type of way. Call me Beck John, but no Kong Dong. Puffing along, keep me higher and prone. I sing my song. I'm spacing out in the sky, really floating in the clouds. You can see me go by, I let it slide. Allergic, not with that nonsense. Chill is the appeal, I keep it real so it got sense. R.I.P. to my kin. Reminiscing, blowing in the wind. With the fin in the shark tank. Big sin suspect, bro, we spark dank. Big fish in the waves, can't sink. Fresh fish cutting up with the sharp shank. Hard paint, I'm blowing dank. Chew my ginjo, pouring up the drink. Carry on, catch me on every song. My flow is very on point of a pencil. Knocks and be the motto. I'm pushing full throttle while I'm sipping on that bottle.
Sipping on that bottle, you can call me John Jameson. I try to be a better man. My leather's so soft like a Letterman. I got that white girl, Kevin Federline. I'm just trying to ball like a middleman. I got to skip the money like a settlement. If you ain't talking money, it ain't relevant. Will it make me ride on my enemies? Till ain't nothing but a memory. Hope they never see another me. Make me ride on my enemies. You don't really wanna fuck with me.
408, pushing weight, get your bread up. Money on my mind all the time, so we met up. I set up shop, grind time, pushing clockwork. I double up a half a brick, call it block work. It's so simple, it's a crime, just admit it. Coke metaphors with the mic when I spit it. Fish scales looking so fine, got me shining. Call me skateboard, cause I'm always on my grinding. Keep in minding, reminiscing and reminding. Money, paper chasing, got me racing and I'm finding the route out to success and the fortune. Torching the choppers with flames, we be scorching.
Rock bottle on the track, boy.
Yeah. Lady Fresh, keep it real, and that's a fact. She gon' tell it like it is, that's just that on that. Yeah, that's just that on that. This the Fresh Perspective with Lady Fresh. Lady Fresh, keep it real, and that's a fact.
All right, y'all. I like that joint right there. That was 707 Cortez. Sit back. I love his music. That he got that whole Cali vibe going, you know. So, as y'all can see, my eyes are starting to get a little lower. So while we give Eve a few more minutes to come up. I I just wanted to take like a quick second to tell all you guys how much I really appreciate the support that I've been receiving since the launch of the solo show. It was something that I said I wanted to do, but it wasn't really easy to start doing it, with the way my schedule often is and just finding the time, and I wanted to do it right. I wanted to have what I needed to have. I wanted to carve out the time that I needed to carve out, in order to really do it because I didn't want to half ass it. I didn't want to come in and just, do any old thing. We do have our days like today, it's no real structure, but I didn't want that to be the basis of the content I deliver to you. And I listen to all of you guys. It's so many of you that reach out to me behind the scenes to tell me I'm doing a good job or tell me what I can do better. Um, Honestly, I couldn't have done any of this without my experience on Rise and Fresh, as well as the immense amount of knowledge and time that Maine the Milkman has poured into me. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys, everybody that's tuned in right now, whether it's your first day or if you came on episode 1 or you watched the old podcast. I am very grateful and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Um, Please continue to show your support. Please continue to give me the constructive criticism. I really do. I appreciate it. So we got a guest back here. We got a little surprise guest. Look at that. We got B in the building. Oh, Dirty Breezy. What's up?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's Lady Fresh? How you doing?
I'm fine, Fresh Breezy. How you doing? What you doing?
Shit, I'm in the city, New York City right now with my people celebrating his 50th. So it's crazy out here right now.
Well, make sure you tell Doc I said happy birthday. And you guys live it up out there. And look, you took time to cam up and support Lady Fresh tonight, and you're out there having a good time.
I bet.
You're very low.
Hold on. You hear me now? It's
I
better?
can hear you. Yeah, it's a little better.
I should.
Yeah. So I
What's
mean,
up with
what's
the
the
drunkles? You spoke to the drunkles?
The Drunkles? Oh, well, I sent them a message. I wanted to get their okay about the new promo that Willie did. So, you guys all seem to be on the same page that you like it, and y'all kind of like both names, the Drunkles, and what's the other one? The Drunk Uncles. I wanted the live chat to chime in on that and see what name they like best. The Drunkles.
Yeah, you know how to do the poll thing? Hit the poll.
Nah, I ain't got there yet. But I'm gonna put the banner. Have you seen the banner? I'm gonna put the banner back up so everybody can
Nah, I
see
didn't see
it.
it.
The Drunkles podcast. Look at that. That joint is dope. We could call you in New York City.
I know, it's crazy.
Salute to Club J-Town. Thank you so much for coming in and supporting. I love you guys' platform. I really enjoy my time over there, especially when y'all be playing all that good classic music, that throwback music, that feel good music these youngins don't know about. So salute to you. You looking real fresh over there, Breezy.
Hey, my name is Fresh Breezy, right? Lady Fresh.
So I wasn't scheduled to go live today. I actually had this off the calendar from the very beginning. But Maine teaches me well. He tells me I need to be consistent, and he tells me, catch the algorithm. And so I did a live. So I reached out to girl Eve, and I was like, I want to go live, but I want to go live with you. So what are we gonna talk about? And so she said, let me look. She recommended we talk about, should relationships be equal? So I'm not sure if she means, should the people in the relationships be equal? Should relationships different types of relationships be equal? Like, I have to have her expound on that a little bit more, but I took it more as personal relationships, maybe with a husband and a wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend, are they equal in that relationship? What's your thought on that?
I think all relationships you should be equal.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. All right. I think he's trying to fix his audio.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I took the headphone up. It's probably gonna be loud out here. Like I was saying, I think all relationships should be equal. Friendship, whatever it is, it should be equal. It should be 100 on both sides. But
Right. That's a motto we live by.
as far as like wife, husband relationship, or boyfriend, girlfriend, I think both should put in the same thing. Really, 100. You know what I mean? I don't. I don't think 60-40 or 50-50 is gonna work. I think it's gonna be it gotta be 100. So
I agree. And I think it was my relationship with you that made me understand what you meant by 100. Because,
right,
everybody usually goes on the 50-50 kind of aspect, which, sounds good. But you're right. It should be
100.
100%
Right.
on both ends. And I think that I do agree that it should be equal. I believe in equal, especially if you asking me if it takes two people to run a household, right? Then it should be equal. However, I don't think that men and women are necessarily equal in certain aspects. You know what I mean? Like we should
Yeah,
be
of
treated
course
right.
not. Of course not.
People treatment should be
Yeah.
equal, but
Right.
okay, you see what I'm saying. So
Right.
our guest is here, and oh my God, she is beautiful. Let me tell you something. My Eve is not only coming through, but she's cammed up. Okay,
What up,
baby,
Sister E?
looking beautiful as ever. Hey, sis, look
Alright.
at you. You muted, baby.
Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry that I'm muted up and I
You
am
look so pretty.
audience right now. How's everyone doing? The host, the illustrious Lady Fresh and Fresh Breezy. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Now that you here, baby girl, what's up?
Listen, let's get into this topic of conversation, shall we?
Yep, I'm sure we only have Breezy for a couple minutes. So if you got something for him, we better get it now.
Yeah, let's get really quick.
Go ahead.
Listen, so do you think that relationships should be equal? Do you think that it should be amounted to where the man is 60 and the woman is 40, or you think it should be 50-50?
Well, I mean, I think it should be 100, but like, I mean, certain things in a relationship, somebody might be strong in that aspect. So 70-30. But the other person might be strong in another thing, with 60-40. You just need to balance out, just like with life. You got to balance shit out. So that's what I believe.
I see you're taking a diplomatic approach because your wife is sitting here on.
Nah, we really live by that. No,
Not
we
at all.
really do
She'll
live
tell
by
you,
that.
nah, not at all. She'll tell you, nah, not at all.
If you live by that, that's even better, right?
My husband's very unique.
Right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it if it's a man and perhaps you've had experiences in your life, whereas I think that let's just go here. Do you think that there was ever a time in your life, Fresh Breezy, bro, I love you.
Right. Come on with it.
I'm gonna get to you. That you felt that a woman needs to have should be in her place, and you should have been more of a precedence over the relationship than the woman.
Nah, not really, because I was married previously before Lady Fresh.
Hmm.
That was my angle. What you just said. I mean, it's I don't know that ain't right with me. You know what I mean? I don't know some shit, but I did that, and that didn't work out. So I started doing something different. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? We negotiate shit. We make sure we come to an understanding. You know what I mean? No one is bigger than the other person, and that ain't only in the husband and the wife. It's the kids, whoever in the household. Everybody got to put in 100% for that shit to work. So
I think that I agree with you on that to an extent, right?
okay.
I'll say the same.
I think that a man's role is a man and a woman's role is a woman. I still believe in roles.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I want to
definitely.
step on
Definitely.
man's toes and what he is supposed to be and what he is supposed to provide in that relationship. And so while it's so easy to say that a man, okay, I'm gonna take a back step, babe. Yeah, you got it. That's something to be said with a person, with a man that's really not stepping up to the plate, doing what he needs to be doing as the head of that relationship. And you can't speak for that because you step up as the head of your relationship, as the head of your household, and she respects you for that. And that's a beautiful thing. So, in this, I'm not going to say that you can't relate, but in this regard, you can't relate.
Well,
And you're probably right. You're
my
probably
thing, my
right.
thing is though. Let me say this right quick. You right in that regard, but my thing is you choose that person that you already have that understanding. So that's what I'm saying. As far as you picking up slack, we already had that other understanding which you're talking about. I'm not talking about that. You know what I mean? So I understand what like I said, I understand what you're saying, but I'm talking about we already passed that shit.
He's scared of Lady Fresh, y'all. Pay
He's
attention.
I'm
not.
scared of her.
No, not at all. It's me and
What I got
Fresh
to be scared
really
of her for?
have and don't think for 1 minute if I get out of pocket or I do something that he doesn't appreciate or that he may deem disrespectful, that he's not going to check my ass, because that is not the case at all.
And
Okay?
we
He is
appreciate
he's a New York nigga to the core. And
Well,
so if I get out of
I'm
pocket,
not a young dude.
yes.
I'm at a different point in my life. I've been through shit, so I
Right.
look at shit different. I try shit different ways. You know what I mean? That shit don't fit, I'm gonna try again. That shit don't fit, try again. You know what I mean?
Listen, I don't want to cut you off, bro, but I appreciate a New York man, okay? Not a New York nigga, but a New York man. There's a difference between such, you know? And I know with you, Lady Fresh, you and Fresh Breezy both come by way of Harlem. And there's some different breeds that come up. Hey, Victoria, darling. Hi, everybody. If I didn't see you. Hi, darling. Miss Parker. I love you. Thank you all so much for being here. If I don't see you in the back, I can see you on the big screen. So salute to everybody for being here tonight. But what I will say is this: I appreciate a strong man, a man that can be able to put me in my place because I am a strong woman. Let's not get this too misconstrued. Oh, strong Black woman, because that stigmatizes us as Black. I'm a strong woman, and I appreciate that because I have been through some adversaries in life, and so is my fellow Black man, so I can appreciate him, and so we can appreciate each other and what we're trying to get to in this endeavor called life, right? So with that, I understand what you're saying, Fresh, but I think there's
I don't have to put my wife in her place. You know what I mean?
you're
Like I said, we already
you're
have that understanding.
you're
So
keeping it
you
neutral.
don't that I don't have to do that. You know what I
You
mean? Do something I don't agree with, we'll talk about it. But as far as putting her in her place, I ain't
Yeah.
gotta do that. Because I picked a woman that I ain't gotta do that with.
right.
And I think that when you've been married before,
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
a lot
Almost 20
easier for
years.
you to
I've been
decide. Right. He was married for almost 20 years before
almost
me,
20 years.
a whole family. And so when you've been married before, I really think that you can easily decipher the shit you want to deal with, things you're not going to deal with. And so it's a lot easier, I think, sometimes to select a partner the next go round, even though they say that second marriages, you know, don't last, you know, more than the first marriages. But
Let's talk about the second marriages.
But this is my first one, so I can't talk about that shit.
But it was my first one if I ever got married, right?
You will get married if that's what you want.
Person that had that experience of being married, right? What has been the experiences with you? Do you think that there's a better experience the next go round? I think so. Looking at you and Fresh Breezy, bro, you guys have a beautiful dynamic going on.
Well, I would hope it's a better situation the next go round for him. I mean, we've been together for 12 years, and we've been married going on 4 this year. It took us a little while to get to that point where we were ready to get married, but eventually we did it. And it was so funny because everybody kept saying when they got to save the dates, they was like, "Oh, I thought y'all was married already." That's the dynamic that we have. And so when people see us together, like we are exactly what people think we are. Like we fit like a glove. And we, you know, we have our moments. And there are times he doesn't like to say checking, but there are times where he'll have to bring me down a little bit because I mean, I can get emotional, especially if like somebody does something wrong to somebody close to me or to my husband, my family, my food, my kids. Like, don't play with my money, don't play with my husband, don't play with my kids, don't play with my food. Everything else is up for grabs. So, you know,
cardinal things with a cardinal sign. You and I are twins. We share the same birthday.
Yeah.
So, so with that, I think that in naturalness, that what you're saying is not something that's not abnormal.
Right.
We should all possess that. Doesn't matter what sign that you're in. If you hold something so dear to you, something that you possess and you love and you want to cherish, you should have those same regards. It has nothing to do with the astrological sign. So I can appreciate what you, bro, have been to her and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
It's a true partnership.
It's that. Let's get back to this though. Let's not veer off. In your beautiful dynamic, who do you guys think is the most dominant in the relationship?
Well, naturally he's more dominant because he's the male. I think I have a more dominant personality because I'm a Capricorn. But don't yeah. Y'all see us on YouTube. You know what I mean? So I think I'm a little bit more out front. I'm doing the show, that kind of thing. But in the background, he's a lot more vocal. He's not as quiet as he is here. Like he's coming out more, but it's definitely, I think my personality is stronger. I need his balance. I need, you know, and like it's funny because I always say that he's a Pisces and like he's, you know, he can get petty and he can get right. And we balance. It's like I'm like this when he's like that, and vice versa. So it can change. It actually can change, I think.
And on top of it, I'm almost 10 years older than her. So, you know what I mean? I'm at a point in my life where I'm more calm than I, you know.
Yeah. With time, it gets better, right? But let me tell you something about with our sign. We're such a fixed sign. We are stuck in our conviction of things. There's 3 levels to a Capricorn. There's stoic. There is being able to anyway, there's 3 levels to us, right? But what we're most popular for is being stoic and emotionalist, and that's quite the contrary. You know, what I get from your relationship and bro is that he's a Pisces. My gosh.
Girl.
For you two to be able to come in one accord like that, It's very telling, but it also says it's like he allows you not to take yourself so seriously. Because a Capricorn, we take ourselves seriously, like
Very seriously.
we're
Yeah.
fine, you
I
know.
agree. I agree with that 100% because I can come in the house about something that happened, yo,
hmm
and I can be on fire, which doesn't happen often, but when it does, I am like thoroughly bothered. And he'll just be like, well, it wasn't meant for that shit to happen at this moment. So we just gonna regroup and we gonna figure out. Like he'll just spit some knowledge and just be like, and I'll be like, okay, you're right.
hmm
You know, just that balance. It don't work as well the other way around. Usually, if he's real fired up, I'll try to be all like try to spit some words of wisdom. It works sometime, but nah, sometimes he just be like, nah,
Now I want to hear that.
you
Shut
know,
up.
and then eventually he'll calm down. But
We appreciate a man that can be able to check us
I
when
do honestly, and I know sometimes he probably be like, you just but I do, and I try to tell him often because I do feel like our black men are super underappreciated. So I do try to make it my duty to let him know that I appreciate, the things that he do, even if I don't want to hear the shit at the time. It's plenty of times he'll tell me something I don't want to hear it,
Mhm,
but I receive it. A lot of times it ends up being right. I
mhm.
mean, I tell him right then because I don't want to stroke that ego, but at some point I will let him know, like, I appreciate you. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate how involved and how in tuned you are. I don't, him, he's like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, you're not supposed to praise me for being a good father because I'm supposed to be a good father. But
Look,
still, our black men are underappreciated. So if you're underappreciated in the streets as often as you are, if you're ridiculed in the streets as often as you are, the last thing you want is to come home and be devalued and underappreciated by that woman. So if I haven't said it lately, my king, I appreciate you. But I think there's a really good balance for us. Of course, we're human. We have our days, but for the most part, what you see is what you get. And we're both very open and honest.
but I don't want you to let these beautiful black men get off with oh, they've had to endure such things in life and la la la, right? We also hold them accountable as well.
Look at the
Absolutely.
birthday boy.
Let's
Birthday
not get
boy.
let's not get off track because sometimes we can be biased in our assertions of things, right?
Yeah,
You
we
have
can, but I mean that is it's still fact whether there are other things to take into consideration. The fact of the matter is, that there is a level of, you know, our black men not being appreciated and not hearing it.
I think
For women, we need that, right? Like you want to hear when you get your hair done. I know for me, when I get my hair done, I want it to be noticed. I want somebody to say, "Oh, girl, that shit look nice. It look neat." When my nails are done, I want to hear it. And I think sometimes the common misconception is that men don't need that. Men don't need to get that, that same type of, and it doesn't have to be about a haircut, but just that appreciation from their spouse. So I don't want it to be a situation where my husband is home with me and he's feeling unappreciated because that's never my intent as his wife to
Mhm.
do, especially since he goes out of his way to let me know
right
how much he appreciates me. So again, like I said, it's about picking the right person, especially if it's your second time around.
about being validated. Women love to be validated,
We
but
do, don't we?
it's about being
Man,
validated.
people love to be validated. Ain't just women.
Be
Right.
validated.
That was my point.
We just need to be validated by that person. Like you said, sis. We need to be validated by that person that we hold dear because as a Capricorn,
Yeah.
like we are very, very, very specific people. Okay. We don't allow anybody in our realm if we don't think that it's going to be conducive, beneficial. It's not going to make any sense to us. You know what I'm saying? We're very careful in our analysis of who we choose to allow in our realm. We take pride in that, right?
Jay Savage. Yes, she cammed up for Lady Fresh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. I did
You
not.
next, Jay Savage. You next.
I didn't do the drunk uncles yesterday, but I welcome this sort of dialogue. And getting back to it, we appreciate a man. Sometimes we get misconstrued with our bruteness as being that we don't need a man. We
Right.
don't listen unless we're independent. No. We've been used to being for that for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That we'll take the role of this and that. And it's not even just saying that we've had adversaries, certain situations derive in our life that we had to just take this role. No, we're that by nature. We're leaders by nature. We are control freaks by nature. We are people, we are complex creatures. But nevertheless, we are the most beautiful, the most loving, the most, supportive being. And I'm saying this as a woman, Capricorn. I'm not taking away from any other zodiac sign, but I can only attest for my own self. And to thine own self be true. Okay. We possess some really wonderful traits about us that if you don't know any better, they can pass you by. That's why I'm like, okay, we have a Lady Fresh and a Fresh Breezy and that love connection. Sometimes you can't pay attention to the zodiac sign, but sometimes you have to because it matches to the T. But what works for you and bro is what works for you and him.
Right. I say that all the time. I say that all the time because, what I love so much about my husband is even though,
I need to hear this. Let me cam up. Bad.
there has been a lot of discussion and debate about the divide between our Black men and our Black women lately. It has been very strong, with the Kevin Samuels and just a host of other, people that have been discussing this topic about, the fact that men like the more traditional approach, women at home. We don't care about the education. We don't care. Like, great, but can you cook? Can you? And to a degree, I get it. But what I love about my husband is that he knows my strengths. He knows the things that I want, and he supports that. They're oftentimes in alignment. Like we were very fortunate to find each other because not everyone can meet that person where so many things are aligned. We grew up in the same place. We went to the same elementary school, 10 years apart, but still. We went to the same elementary school. We grew up in the same project. Our families knew each other, but like it was different. It wasn't because we were together. Like we grew up several years separate from, like, apart from one another, but after his first marriage and we married one another, it was like everything was aligned. And he didn't necessarily say, hey, woman, get in the kitchen and cook. He didn't have to tell me what to do as a wife, even though I had to learn a lot of things because I wasn't 100% prepared. I'll be honest. You're still learning things when you get married, right? But we had that show where you and Ivan were on there and that great debate back and forth, right? And at the end of the day, my thing was you need to be with a person who wants the same things you want, who have the same ideals you have, who wants to raise children the same way that you want to raise children. While all those things may not always be aligned, you have to respect and love that person enough to be able to have a dialogue to come to some kind of compromise. And so I think a lot of times you hear these conversations and it sounds like there's no willingness to compromise. And I feel like that's a big problem. And I never have that issue with my husband, ever. I wanted to start a business and move to Kansas, fucking Kansas. And I was like, oh no, when the opportunity came up, I was like, no, that's not going to work. My husband's kids are in Georgia. We're not moving to Kansas. He was the one that said, this is the thing that you always wanted to do. Why are we not going to try it? Now, to some other people, that may seem like, well, your wife's career lets you take, but we were in it together. You know what I mean? So it's I appreciate the fact that I wasn't forced to fit the prototype. I wasn't forced to be the stay in the kitchen, stay in the skirt, do what's told. I wasn't forced or encouraged to fit that mold. That
Well,
may
we're
work.
very non-traditional with a lot of stuff, so we don't follow the
And no, there's no
mold.
problem
We
with
don't do
people
that.
who are like that. My thing is find the person that you can live that life with. It's not going to be for everyone. Every woman's not going to want to be with a man who is going to demand for them to not work, not have a degree, not they we have ideals, we have aspirations, and you just need to have a partner that is going to embody that and that's going to encourage that and not
Right.
kick you down for it.
Right. I agree. Totally.
Look, Willie, he said, Eve, thanks for being on the show. I love my Willie. Let me tell you something. He's been in my corner from day one. Okay.
When will you hit the panel?
I know I did as soon as you and I decided to do this, y'all. I kid you not. I text Eve like, girl, I want to do a show, but I want to do it.
But
He came up with a topic and it was like 2 hours ago. But I asked him and I think he was at work.
Willie did. He was
Yes.
at work.
I was like, I want you to come in and give your perspective on the topic. And he was like, he's at work. If we still on after midnight, I was like, I got to go to work at 5:30. I can't be on that late, but definitely want to do a show with Willie. I love how he's always so calm.
I'm always going to support. That's not without a question. I did not come on yesterday, guys. Let me just say this. Bro, I did not come on yesterday. I was just in a mode up here and I need to digress. So I always look forward to being able to have this fresh perspective, this beautiful balance. And if you all appreciate this as well as I do, please hit the like button. Please support the machine. I hate saying that because it kind of sounds cliche. Please support by hitting the Cash App at the $ I am Lady Fresh. You can see it right there spinning across the bin. Not really, it's not spinning, it's just right there. But please support Lady Fresh. I love her outtake on things. I love the diversity that she brings, and people of ourselves, we need to have that level of diversity as we move amongst this system of things called YouTube. So please
thank you for that.
support her. Do what you can. We're not asking for an arm and a leg, but nevertheless, anything will do to be able to keep this machine moving forward. So let me just say this, okay? Do I think that, excuse me, it should be a 60-40 with a man? I would say this. A man is the head, okay? A woman is a head as well. But understand the position in which a man and a woman resides with one another. If I'm trying to be with a man, me being the strong-minded individual that I am, I need to have somebody that's just as strong, that has that level of understanding of me, and I understand them. Because I'm gonna dog walk over a man that is just weak, and not intentionally. Not that I'm trying to disrespect him, but I want to be with a man that I can respect. And I know me, my personality and what I bring, I'm not for everyone. I'm not for everyone. And only the strong survive when it comes to me, right? Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I understand 100%.
So I need that man. So I need that man to, like, if we're gonna withstand the test of time with each other, because you'll be like, oh, I'm done with you. I can't deal with you. You're playing mind games with me and this and that. That's because you don't understand me. That's because that you have whatever level of thinking that you have. But that's not on me. This is based upon how you feel about me. That's not who I am, because you didn't get enough, you didn't take the time to understand who I really am, you know? And that happens a lot with women like us, strong women. And so when we tighten the scope with men, as it relates to who we give that that level of autonomy to,
Right.
because there it's few, small, and in between.
No, I agree.
I want to be able to give you all of this that you deserve and all of this that I possess in myself to be able to present to you. But then, and there's this little small, these little nuances that I just cannot get with, and it's like it just really blows us all over. One thing about a Capricorn, many things about a Capricorn. Okay,
That's a whole nother show.
admire the strong-minded individual of a Capricorn, right? And sometimes we will pick and we'll pick and pick and pick and pick until we reach that limit with that person. But guess what? After we didn't pick with that person for so long, that person either A is not going to want to deal with us, or they will, but then it turns into a toxic situation. So we have to check and assess ourselves sometimes. It's not
Oh,
easy.
absolutely.
We want to see who can be able to stand. I want to see, if I'm calling you my king, I want to know that you are worthy of that.
Yeah. Well, I agree with everything that you said. The only thing I would say differently is, as far as the man being the head, absolutely. But I always reference the woman as the neck. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times the neck, you know what the neck does? It holds that head in place. It holds that head up. And a lot of times that is our responsibility as women, is to keep that man up so that he can be that king that we're asking him to be. So it's absolutely a give and take situation. So I always say that the woman is the neck. We hold that head in place. Head can't function without the neck. And so that's the only difference as far as that analogy. But I agree with you as far as like the traits of a Capricorn. We're not the easy. I told him before we got together, because he told me, he was like, yo, I'm letting you know right now, I'm the worst. I'm like, whatever, hearts in my eyes, stars in my eye, whatever. I knew you since I was little. But he really is the worst. Pisces, they are something else.
Pisces
they are something else. They can dish it, but boy.
Oh, honey.
What'd you say?
Geminis are the worst.
I never really I want to do an episode about like zodiac signs. You know what I mean? Like understanding like the different traits, and if it's just something people say that, oh, I'm a this, I'm a that, or is that really a thing? Because I do see there's some of it is just all human traits. Like all humans possess, those things. But then sometimes you just see certain behaviors, and I see like Pisces, that petty shit runs deep in that sign. Okay. That being able to dish it but can't take it runs deep in that sign. Like they will really dog you. And then if you do it back, they want to look at you like you crazy. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother episode. We'll get to that. But I mean, as far as the female man and the male like dynamic, when you say 60-40, because he's the head. I understand that. But you know the philosophy that me and Fresh live by as far as putting into the relationship. If you're talking about putting into the relationship, we believe in 100 100. And we don't expect everybody to understand that or do that. But I think, and I learned that from him. That was him that brought that to the table because, I always live by the 50-50, you know, because we split everything, but we don't split everything. We just put 100%. How many times you camming up? What's going on with something going on with his phone? You put 100% in and you should be able to get 100% back. Like, I really believe that. And he made me believe that. So that's my take. That's my take on it.
Oh, I too agree with you on that, and I couldn't agree more. But we live in a world of technicalities, right? And so it shouldn't have any bearings on oh, I was just about to say, he says, Eve, do you think a Capricorn woman should be submissive to their husband? I believe you can't be the king and queen in the bed in the household because it is detrimental to the marriage. I too agree. And I'm glad that you made that assertion, Trey Vlogs. Because I am have been conversing with someone for a little bit now, and he and I have had some pretty intense conversations as it relates to what roles that a woman should be. Nevertheless, appreciating the woman, and that other person also appreciating the man. Can you go back to that question again exactly? Because
Oh,
I
yeah,
want
yeah, yeah.
kind of fulfilled. Do you think a Capricorn woman should be submissive? I don't think that it should be solely based upon a astrological sign. That should be something that is a given across the boards. If you respect your unionship, and a lot of people get things misconstrued. Oh, okay, I'm a Capricorn because it's this. That doesn't define you. Just because you hold a certain astrological sign, it doesn't define who you are naturally. Um, there are some people that are Capricorns that we know we hold ourselves at a certain regard, at a high regard, but there may be some Capricorns that fall beneath that margin. And is that a fault on all Capricorns and all the people that have really lived up to what the Capricorn name is? No, it isn't. And so with that, you're going to get that along any astrological sign.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with whether or not you're a Capricorn, a Leo, a Virgo. The question is,
do you think we should be submissive?
Right. That's an overall a statement, for any woman.
Let me say this. I think with a man and a woman, I hold traditional values, and I stay true to that. You, Lady Fresh, you stay true to that. You too, you're my birthday twin. We hold these certain regards as relates to relationships. We won't teeter-totter on those lines. We won't cross that boundary of what a man's objective is as opposed to a woman. We won't do that. Now, we will, in some regard, be vocal. We will, just be our natural selves, but we will still respect the union and respect the man as who he is first. Okay, above all things, because that man, if you and we say 60-40, it's all contingent upon what type of man you are. That doesn't mean for all men that are deserving to have that 60-40 ram. But I think that if you are a man that is deserving of this, if you have demonstrated, if you have presented various things that align with you being a man. Okay, listen, let me go ahead and take the rim. Let me take a step back, and you go ahead and be the man that I know you can be. I don't need to step on your toes because
Right.
you're gonna lead me. You're gonna lead us. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that union. And I think that all women should. But we're living in a time now where women are playing the role as the man and the woman. And so when we find ourselves being able to find a man that possesses these things that we don't need to, you know, grab hold of, anymore, it's kind of hard because we've been so used to being that. Um,
I,
so
I agree with that. I agree with that completely. I think a lot of times you have to look at, for one, each relationship is different. So I mean, you can say, should a woman, should a Capricorn, whatever, be submissive to their husband? The easy answer to that, based on tradition, is going to be yes. But in today, like you said, today's society, things are different. The relationships between men and women are different. Even men go into these relationships different. So when you're talking about being submissive, I honestly believe that if there's a common misconception that black women don't want to be submissive to the black man. And there are a lot of them that don't.
Mm.
But I think you have to get into understanding what the role submission means in a marriage. You have to look at the people that are in that relationship, again, the ideals, the beliefs, the what traditions they hold. All of those things factor in.
Mm.
You have to know the person that you're married to. But I honestly think the misconception is that black women don't want to submit to their husbands. They don't want to submit to their black men. But I think that a lot of black women, and I can't speak for all of them because there's a lot of them that they don't think that way. But there's a lot of black women that are eager to have a man that they can be submissive to, not someone who you ask them to lead you and they lead you into a ditch. That's not going to be okay. Like that's not going to stand up to the type of black women that exist today. So, after they've already dated 10 different dudes like that, their guard is up and they're already going into the next relationship jaded, already ready to say, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. And you understand to a degree, but it wasn't that man that did it, right?
Mhm.
But I think there are a lot of women who would submit to a real motherfucker. Like they want somebody who's gonna lead. They want that man to lead. They want that man to say, "Here, babe, put that on my back. Let me carry that. You do X, Y, and Z. You worry about this. I got you."
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that. We don't get that. It's not always about money. It's not always about financial security, even though it should be. But that's something you can build together. As long as that person is showing that they can work with you with things like that. Like those are things that you can do together. You can build together. But as far as, will women be submissive? I think they absolutely have the ability to be that way
Mm.
given the right circumstances, given the right chance. If they give the chance, if they're willing to listen, if they're willing to put their all into it. But I think oftentimes we get written off,
Mm.
black women get written off because we're strong, because we
Mm.
raise our voice, or because we're not willing to submit. And I don't think that's the case, because there's a lot of men out there that likes a woman who is very solid on what she believes, and
Mm.
she's very assertive without being disrespectful. There's a difference, because the Lady Fresh you see here and the way that I speak here and the way that I speak is not the same Lady Fresh that speaks to her husband. So when you start judging the strength of a black woman or the language of a black woman, don't pretend to know how that black woman is in her bedroom, in her
Mm.
home, her family, and her children. Don't pretend to know it, because you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I always tend to feel like, okay, there is just that division between men and women. And a lot of times, if you really listen to the arguments that are presented, they are so similar. We want the same things in essence. It's like hell or high water to get there. We're fighting each other instead of working with one another.
I
It-
agree with you. I totally agree with you. Um, It's a confliction. But when there's a level of communication, you can never go wrong. And we're not for everybody. Relationships were not for everybody. That's why I said we have to take out this quantitative, qualitative aspect of astrological and psychological mumbo jumbo BS, right? And we have to go and take forth what really makes sense to us. And that's love. Love is the common answer, the common goal. And with love is so many variables to that. Nevertheless, it still exists within a unionship. And you can look past certain things about that person. It doesn't matter, what their sign is. You can look past certain things because you see the greater in that person. It's simple algebra.
Yes.
So I agree with you in your entirety. Also saw something down here with the an account. It can't be said to look like healing. Okay, Lady Fresh, is just this about being a submissive person to your mate. You keep on asking this specific question.
I mean, I answered that already. He
yeah.
probably put that up before,
Yeah.
but I think I pretty much
You did.
cover what my stand. Like I have.
Yeah.
I grew up with the tradition, with the tradition of the husband and the wife, and I did some shit in reverse order. Wasn't necessarily traditional as far as like having kids before getting married and living together. But at the end of the day, I do hold a lot of traditions very dear. I wanted to get married in the church. I wanted, so I do have a lot of those traditions. The man is the head of the household. I do fix my husband's plate first before I fix my kids. Like I do. I don't feel it's wrong to do it one way or the other. They big enough actually to come fix their own stuff. Okay, but I make my husband's plate, and I actually multitask. So I do hold traditions, but
his
I
plate
think I'm really clear. Huh? What you say?
His plate should be made first.
I believe so. I believe so because it's gonna take 10 minutes for her to come eat anyway. So what difference do it make? I feel like I make my husband's plate and I take it to him. I'm sure to ask him as soon as the food is done. I'm like, "Are you hungry?" He'll let me know if he wants to eat then or if he wants me to make him a plate and put it aside. I do that and I proceed to feed my 20 and 8-year-old.
But you respect your unionship first because he is the head, and you know that you didn't marry somebody, and nor should we ever marry somebody, take unionship with someone that we didn't think that wouldn't be able to lead us. A woman needs to be led to a certain degree because sometimes we're emotional creatures. It's not to take away the fact that a man isn't as well, but understanding who we are, and having that mate figure come in and say, "Hey, listen," because we are just as beneficial to them as they are to us. There's some things that we can be able to lend to them is where they can lend to us. Babe, this stuff right here happened, and such and such this happened, and you know what? I don't know. What do you think that I should do? You think I'm being irrational about this and this and that? That man's gonna probably say, "Babe, you know what? Why are you thinking so in depth with this? You don't need to do that." So sometimes they can be able to bring us down to ourselves, right?
We need that.
And that's okay. And we're okay with that. Shut up, Jay. Love you. Hit the panel.
I think we had all the drunken uncles in here at some point. Shout out to the drunk podcast.
It's their time. What's up with the drunk uncles?
The Drunkles podcast. They are bum rushing everybody's panel, y'all. So they don't have their own dedicated platform just yet, but they will pop up on you. So look out for them. You never know where they may be.
Yo, who came up with the drunkles? That is
He-
awesome.
I believe it was CMW Recordings, 707 Cortez. Shout out to you, 707. I've been playing his music today.
Drunkles.
But he put in the chat one day, shout out to the drunkles. And it kind of stuck. I like that because that's like real drunky.
I love it. I
Real
got
drunky.
off that.
I like that one. So shout out to them.
Drunkles. Shout out to the drunkles, man. Love you guys. The drunkles.
I love it because when you think about it, first, let me tell you, we had conversations about this and how to spell it, all that kind of stuff. And it was like, okay, well, I feel like if we're going to be the drunk uncles, something needs to be spelled incorrectly. So we spell uncles with the K, right? So that took it from being a drunk thing to being an even more drunk thing.
Yeah.
Then CMW put in there, shout out to the drunkles. I was like, I haven't seen it all. Now that's some real drunk shit. You done combine both words and still spell it wrong. I love it.
I'm here for it. I love it. I'm mad that I didn't make that myself because you know what? Let me tell you, that's greater than drunk couch. That's somebody better get that before I get it. Y'all know I'm good for that.
Do you think society is moving away from traditional values regarding marriage? I mean, society has moved away from traditional values on marriage for what, 40, 50 years now. Our entire life, most of the people that's on this platform right now, for our entire life, we have seen different variations of marriage, of unions. People go the non-traditional route and don't ever marry. They have domestic partnerships. So, I mean, I don't think we're moving away from it. We have moved away from it. And I feel like the traditional people are the minority now.
I wouldn't say minority. I would say a culture.
Yeah. Now we're the culture. Everybody else is the norm. They're the standard.
Yeah.
But, you know, I be in my bubble. I don't, to each his own. I don't really try to worry about what other people are doing too much. I've never been that way. Like, I don't know. I don't care that much. I just don't want anything forced upon me. That's all. And don't force it upon my children. Be educating, I'm fine with. You want to educate me so that I don't sound ignorant when I'm discussing topics or whatever. I'm fine with that, but don't force your agenda on me. I don't appreciate.
Absolutely. Don't force your shit.
Yeah. So and I don't look at things as right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like, if me and Fresh never got married, I don't think it would have affected either one of us. Like, it would affect some people, but I think we saw the value in actually taking that leap. And it, it provided security, as far as the kids and, if anything ever happens. And there's ways to do that legally without getting married. But, like I said, a lot of people thought we were married already. So
let me ask you something though. Being a Capricorn, you're sure in yourself and who you are as a Capricorn. Not just that, just who you are, and a lot of these things really align with what a Capricorn is, right? Do you think that you can be able to deal with another Capricorn, something that is a spitting image of who you are?
If I can deal with a Pisces, I can deal with anything. Anything. Capricorns are difficult, but we're reasonable. I am. I don't know about you, Eve. I don't know how reasonable you are. I done seen some of them lives, girl. You be off the chain. But I am very reasonable. By the time I'm fed up with your bullshit and not dealing with you anymore, you deserve it. And you probably should have been cut off a long time ago. So if I'm dealing with another person that thinks that same way, I should be good, because then I know what's coming. But
But the thing, because when you know you're spitting image of that person, and there's a lot of, you know, a lot of pushback
I
because
like myself. So why wouldn't I be okay with it?
you want to say it again?
I said I like myself. I like who I am. I like who I am as a Capricorn. So why wouldn't I be okay with the
But
spitting?
there's a lot of things that people say about us, and it's like,
I don't Eve. We Capricorn since when we gave two fucks. I told you, did you see my live when back when we was doing Rise and Fresh? And I was like, I think she asked me about turning 40.
mhm,
And I was like, for me, turning 40 was the manifestation of zero fucks given. I live by that. I don't give a damn about things like that. Now, if you're critiquing me for something, like my podcast, if you're critiquing me based on my work, but if you're critiquing me as a person, I don't give a shit what you think.
mhm, mhm.
I just don't. I don't know if you are not like that, but you're not 40 yet, so maybe you just ain't got there yet. But I
I'm
don't.
almost there. I'm almost there.
And
Okay.
it's so much stuff that don't get to me anymore. You can ask my husband. Like, I so many things used to get to me. I used to get so emotional about so many things. I got picked on really bad in school. I was the little dark, ugly girl with the short hair and the black skin and like so as I got older, I kind of like lived with, I don't want to say shame. It's more like I doubted myself. I always felt like the underdog. I always felt like the ugly duckling. And I think I reached a certain point where I started taking value in myself as opposed to listening to everything everybody had to say about me, because I realized people always gonna have something to say about you. But what do you have to say about yourself? So, I don't completely, and when I say zero fucks given, that doesn't mean that I'm not realistic and don't pay attention to the things I need to pay attention to. I just don't allow a lot of that rhetoric to determine who Lady Fresh is. I don't allow it to determine who Tia is. They're two different people, but they're me. And so I allow only what I think. There's sometimes, and not this is not to be disrespectful. Please, no one take it that way, because I know that my husband's not going to take it that way. But there's oftentimes that I don't even take his opinion on things. He doesn't even offer it because he knows his wife. He knows that at some juncture, I'm gonna reason and I'm gonna come to the decision I need to come to. He only will step in when he needs it. If he sees me spiraling, if he sees me offending people, if he sees me doing something that's gonna make me look bad. But as far as who I am, oh girl, I wish what Bonnie say, I wish a nickel would. And I have to be this way. I have to. I went through too much. I got drugged too much as a kid. And so now I'm confident in myself and I'm confident in my skin, and I'm not gonna apologize for that shit.
Shout out to Don Philly in the building. Okay. Don Philly. If I don't have to put too much on there, that's okay. But guess what? I'm so proud of being the age that I am, and I'm reaching. So salute to you, baby.
Girl, let me
To have you in the building. You have spirit, you.
Don Philly. Let's see.
Don Philly in the building.
Preach, Lady Fresh. Listen, and everything I'm saying, I don't expect everybody to agree with what I'm saying, but I had to get to a point where I showed myself a lot of self-love. And I had to do that before I agreed to marry my husband.
Yeah.
I had to, because what was that gonna I was gonna enter into a relationship or a marriage not loving myself, and that what good would I have been as a wife?
And what a wonderful wife you are indeed, right?
I'm all right.
Hey,
I could cook a little bit more.
It's always room to grow, but you know what? You are a quintessential wife, and that's all that matters. Everybody's never done growing, but when you have the basics, That's what counts. And you're gonna grow with the times. And that's what matters.
And you have to have the willingness, and I think that's where
And
sometimes things get a little, it's when people don't have the willingness. Are you willing to compromise? Are you willing to grow? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to sacrifice?
mhm.
My husband sacrificed to move to Kansas to build a business that I was like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not
That was
doing
a
it.
great sacrifice to move from New York City.
No, we moved from Atlanta.
Oh, from Atlanta?
And he still had a small son there. We've been in Kansas now almost 9 years. He's
But
about
y'all
to turn 13.
part
So he
of
was
that.
young. He was young. And I was like, man, we leaving my stepson behind. Like, what the, I don't know. And he was like, yo, this is you wanted this. This is what you wanted. It's just in another state. And that was the best advice I was given to date. We
Mm,
took the chance, we moved to Kansas, and now the business is thriving.
mm.
I've started 2, 3 different businesses and trying to teach the kids to start businesses too. So, it's just that faith. He didn't have to sit there and go back and forth with me on this, that, and thinking about this. And he just told me what I needed to hear at the time, which was,
Mhm.
this is what your dream was. This is what we wanted to do. And we did it. We did the damn thing.
I'm gonna tell you, I had that same experience. Well, you have a ring on your finger now, but I have that same experience with the person that has been telling me a lot of the business aspect of things, and just saying, hey, listen, do you ever think about this or doing this and that? No matter how established I am in my own person, there's always things that you can do more to be able to progress. So this is how I hold the argument with a man. Can a man be at this and that? Absolutely. I think that a man came along and told me some things that perhaps that I think that I'm a know all be all. No, I'm not. There's a man that came along in my later years and showed me some things that I could be able to do to progress my life, to be able to, you know, upgrade some things that I could have done that I didn't know otherwise. These are important when you factor in what type of man qualifies being a man of a household, being when you say 60-40, being a man that you can be able to say, hey, listen, I relinquish my reins, you go ahead and lead us. This because I know that you're not going to lead us astray. These are the things that are important. And so I do understand what you're saying, and the great lengths, the great progress, the great improvements that life is taking you in your significant other. Because it without one is two. So it's not to take anything away from you and your contributions, but we're paying homage to the man tonight, and just in a to degree, because hey, listen, everything is contingent, but we have a lot of men in the chat. They're gonna have some opposing views to this topic, but we're not saying that a man is inadequate. I appreciate the man. I appreciate the man that can be able to teach me something, because I'm a know-it-all sometimes. And you have to tell me, you have to show me better. You can just tell me, and you can walk me through something, and that grasps my attention. That grasps my respect and my admiration for you. So, to answer the question, um,
Jason.
should relationships be balanced? Mm, no, I don't. I think that a man should have his place of what a man should be, because if you're that man, then you know what you need to do as a man to be able to hold us down in that relationship. And I'll never question that, because you'll never lead us astray. Does that make sense? Okay.
I agree. I'll take it a step further and say that balance is what it is for
I
that
don't need a
relationship.
to wait. Shut up.
No,
Jack.
he's something else. but the balance is going to be what it is for each one of those relationships. Like, is every relationship is different. They're not created equally. So what one household's balance is may not be the other household's balance. But I do believe that the man should be the head.
I do too.
And if it's a domestic partnership of same sex or whatever, one of y'all need to be the head and the other one need to be the neck. Whatever it is, like that balance that you create. I mean, you're talking about spending the rest of your life with that person. So that balance that you create, it may be one thing in year 1, but it could be something else year 20. Because we change, we evolve. And there's going to be different things and situations that throw that balance off. What happens when you have that little dry spell where that husband loses that job and now you're going through savings and the woman has to hold things down? He is still the head, but that balance has shifted a little bit. She has a little bit more responsibility. So like I said, it's really, for me, it's really about the people. You know what I mean? It's about the people putting in the work. Knowing who you're married to or who you're in that partnership with, and putting the work in. Like my guest said the other day, put the work in, sis. Put the work in, bruh. If that relationship means something to you and having a solid foundation means something, you got to be able to change with the times. You got to be able to support one another. When one's up, you know what I mean? The other one might be down. When one's down, the other one need to for damn sure be up and trying to bring the other person up. So, it's really it's a partnership. It's a business. It's a balance. And you just got to find the right balance for your particular situation. Lotus says all successful relationships run on their own terms and don't base their relationships on how it works on what works for other relationships. Absolutely. And I think a lot of that comes with the day and age. I think things back in the day were so much more cookie cut. You know what I mean? Like you used to watch those old TV shows and everybody had the same looking house and they had the same picket fence and they had the same kind of cars and they had the same clothes and the same dress. Like it's definitely not like that today. So it is an individual basis. I do think that there are some traditional traits and non-traditional traits that might take root in each relationship that make things the same, but it's not. Everyone is different. Every relationship is different. What works for me and Breezy may not work for Eve and her future husband. We claiming that right now. We're not saying if, we're saying when.
Claim it. Let's claim my husband right here, right now.
That's right. He's already chosen for you.
He's chosen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where that self-love came in for me, Eve. If you would have talked to me when I was, 14 or 15, I was like, I'm never going to do nothing. I'm going to be ugly forever. No one's ever going to like me.
But look at you. You have the greatest love ever. My bro, I love you too so much. Like, it doesn't get any better. And so relish in that and appreciate that. And it's going to be unconventional. Everything is not traditional. While we say that we live by traditional standards, it doesn't mean that our love will come by way of traditional. You know what I'm saying? And so that's important to think that, and to keep that in mind rather. So I know that my forever is out there.
He is. He's real close too. I feel it.
He's close, huh?
You should have been here did you see my psychic medium episode? Did you watch it?
I did not. Which
one?
Oh
my God, Eve, you played too much. Please go back and watch. What is that? Episode 2?
I haven't missed the show.
You missed that one with the psychic medium, Lynn Nichols. She came on here and she was telling people about their whole life.
Hey, Thursday?
It was a Wednesday. It wasn't Wednesday. It was Wednesday before.
Remember, I didn't know she was a psychic. I didn't know.
She's a psychic medium. There's a difference. She's very adamant about that too. Go back
Oh,
and watch the show. She's amazing. It just sucks that she's booked up for the whole year.
well, I was here, so let me just put that out there. Okay, I
No,
was
I
here.
did see you in the chat, but I just didn't maybe get a chance to watch.
Bro saw me in the chat.
I saw you. I said I saw you. You know I have a hard time multitasking.
Oh, did you didn't say that? I'm like, wait a minute, did you? I was there the other day.
You said you weren't. You said you missed it. I'm going over what you said, but you obviously ain't watched the whole thing. So go back when you get off this. Please go back and watch episode 2 with Lynn Eagles. She was amazing. Okay, and she just put so much insight on stuff. She made me so comfortable. She told me things that I've never told anyone. Asked me about things that I never said. It's never been posted anywhere. It's no way she would have known it.
How uncomfortable was that for you?
It wasn't. That's what I'm saying. That's how good she is. It wasn't like, how the hell is this telling me all this shit? Like it was, you know how we do. And I'm a skeptic. Because I look at you cross-eyed, like, okay, you got that off Facebook. I told everybody I was at the hospital today. No, that's not what this was. And then she read for Lotus, hit the nail on the head. Read for ATG Barnes, hit the nail on the head. And Bonnet, oh my God. And of course, there were some things that, you know, it's not going to be perfect or spot on. And she wasn't fishing. She was just like, tell me about your scars. Huh? She don't know Bonnet. She asked Lotus about her hip. And she talks to you through of someone who's passed. So that's the difference between a psychic medium and so you got the psychic who tells you things by sense. You have the mediums that communicate with people who have passed on. A psychic medium tells you things by way of people who've passed on. So she spoke to me through my husband's grandmother who passed away. And asked me things about my children and about my health, about things that I'm going to be doing in the future. And it was just like, Eve, I don't subscribe to that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm open to it because, you know, it was a hot topic. It was something that when I heard her on Clubhouse, I was drawn to her. It was something about how she put that lady at ease. She had just lost her son and she just couldn't understand why he kept coming back to her. And she was like, your son is coming to you just to let you know that he's okay. He didn't know what happened, why he died, how he died, but he kept coming to her for weeks since his passing. And she didn't understand it. And somebody in there was like, I'm going to go get my friend Lynn. And I was like, what the hell kind of shit they about to do? And she came in there just calm and she was talking to the lady. And then she was just like, I just think you should know that your son he's okay. And while it's hurting right now that he's gone, he's okay. And he felt like he needed to come every day so he would understand that he's okay and that you can grieve and then try to move forward. And the lady seemed so relieved, Eve. Like she just seemed like she needed to hear that. She needed to hear something to put her at ease. And so ever since that day, and this was like September of last year, I was like, I got to interview her. She was supposed to originally do the other show.
And she did you that day?
No, we reached out. I reached out to her later. And then she did a reading for me then. And then we spoke the day before the show last week. And she did another reading. And the stuff she was saying, I was like,
so spot on.
You know, there was some things that was like, you know, she was like, don't try to overthink it. You know what I mean? It's something like she was like, oh, who's Gloria? I'm like, huh? She was like, Gloria. I was like, I know a Gloria, but I ain't talked to her in I don't know how long. She was like, you're going to hear from someone named Gloria in the next few days. I'm like, whatever.
Subconscious.
Huh?
It's subconscious. a lot of these things that you don't see in the forefront and the conscious is subconscious, is the things that reside in the back of the mind that, perhaps like may have been impactful, but we don't really put that as a basis of what our life is in the now or what impact that it has on our life right now.
All I know is I spoke to Gloria. I spoke to a Gloria the next day.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't the Gloria that I thought. In fact, I didn't even know this girl's last name was Gloria. I reached out to her about a business opportunity. And when she responded, you know how it'd be like, maybe this person? It said, maybe, blah, 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 Gloria. I was like, what the She was dope, yo. She just was
What
like,
did Gloria say?
well, it wasn't like that. I reached out to her about a new business that I launched. So I'm trying to see if she's interested. And so we actually, what do you say?
So Gloria, in some capacity, she brought Gloria in as being something that's gonna help you for your future endeavors. Not anything.
It was a lot of people. She just happened to be one of the many people that was on the list, but I didn't even realize that that was her last name. I didn't know it. I just know her as Jessica.
Do you think that you'll start using these, people again?
Nah, it's not, I support my girl Foxy. You know what I mean? I do a reading with her every now and again. It's more of a support factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's gifted as well. She got, I look at them the same. The exact same. Foxy uses the cards and Lynn uses dead people.
All right.
So it's definitely not something that, I feel like I need to speak to them every day, every month.
Well, I'm here for it. That's not my type of speed, but I'm here for it. So.
I'm where you at. Ooh. But my Eve, you know how much I appreciate you, right? You've been like super supportive, and you came in like a firecracker when we started the last show. I didn't know you. You hit our panel and you just lit that shit up. I mean, you lit it up, and you've been a favorite. Like, even like my family that watches the show, they're like, Eve. And so, it was only, and I definitely don't want this to be the last time we collaborate. Like, I honestly would love to, do more shows with you, maybe even structure a show. I appreciate you like picking up the reins and being like, okay, so this is the topic we're gonna talk about. Like, she jumped right in. She ain't say, oh, I don't know, I might have to do something. I just had the itch to go live because I'm listening to Maine. Maine said, stay consistent, stay in the algorithm. And I really felt bad because I was like, I didn't have a show scheduled for today because I'm on the road, and it was just overwhelming. But my day ended early, and I was like, I want to go live. And I told Eve, y'all, and she was just like, we're going to talk about this. And I was like, okay, what time you want to do it? and here she is. And she cammed up for me.
Serving?
Yes, Hunty, you told them. I will turn this camera on right now, God damn it.
Am I serving, darling?
Yes, you are. Jay Savage, you next, yo. You're next.
I don't know how to do anything but that, darling.
Jay Savage, I'm drinking my Malibu. I don't be trying to get toe up. I got to do surgery on people tomorrow. I can't be.
Jay, I'm sorry you didn't get the Slur Sisters, okay?
The Slur Sisters? Whatever. Don't.
Actually, love this flower bomb. Love this flower bomb. Hi. It's Omni versus Gaming. Salute to everybody out here.
Yes, Omni versus Gaming. Thank you for all the questions. I think this might be the first time you've been here over at The Fresh Perspective. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Please don't be a stranger, and keep coming with the questions because I like that.
Thank you so
much.
for hitting the panel tonight, giving your perspective. What happened to the drunk uncles? What happened to the drunk?
Uncles. See, I ain't even got time for them tonight.
They weren't gonna come. I was supposed to do
Well,
them.
Bon said he might pull up. He told me to send the link. I sent it. He didn't pull up, but that's okay because we got another episode coming Wednesday, and I don't even know what we're gonna do next Saturday, but we'll come up with something.
Drunkles edition.
Another Drunkles episode on next Saturday. I was supposed to be out of town next Saturday for my son's birthday. My stepson's turning 13. Oh my god. But he having like a private party. He like I'm having a hotel party with my friends. Y'all not invited. Y'all old. So
well, no, bro, he's gonna be gone too. So he's the main part of Drunkles. So if he's
no, he'll be home. He's gone this weekend. He's in New York right now.
No, I'm talking about next week. If you can't be able to hold Drunkles down next Saturday.
Oh no, he'll be home. That's what I'm saying. We'll be home. Our son said we can't come to the
You guys don't have any you guys don't have any excuse. Okay.
Yeah, our son said, fuck y'all, don't come to my party. Send money and gifts.
Right.
So he got his little outfit, he got his little friends, and like he don't care. I was like, damn, it started at 13. Shit. I at least got my daughter to high school before she told me to man.
I love you so much.
I love you too, my Eve.
You know that you're gonna keep on trying to chastise me because we have yet to link up.
Oh no, we good. It's all right. I'm never home, so it's okay. I'm about to have this summer. Breezy don't know it, but we're gonna be having a lot of shit in the backyard. So you know, yeah, I'm about to. We about to be partying this summer. We these last 2 summers we couldn't do shit, right?
Yes,
the bid had us down, and I always have functions at my house. I have a big Christmas party every year, and I usually do something in the summer. So, you know, I definitely have to let you know.
Anybody has not hit, put the Cash App up there, please.
It should be up there. Oh, Jay Savage's message.
Jay Savage, please, if you enjoyed tonight's episode, which I don't think that you shouldn't have.
I mean, it's us.
Support the channel by via Cash App at $. I am Lady Fresh at I am Lady Fresh. She's consistent with it, and one thing us spectators love is consistency. So please
try
pause by hitting her via Cash App. Okay, it was a beautiful episode. It was wonderful having all of you out here tonight, relishing in this various perspective. Perspective. So,
and did you hear me explain what my reasoning behind the Fresh perspective was? That it's not about me. Fresh, yeah, that's me. I'm Lady Fresh. Kind of a play on words, but the Fresh perspective are every week the different people that come and talk and deliver their perspective on everything.
Yeah,
it's fresh from week to week. You see me every damn week, twice a week.
It's a double entendre.
Okay, so you getting all that.
I love it. I love it.
All that, and I respect your perspective a lot. You know,
yours. I hope
many
able to be enlightening, because I can go aloof sometimes in my thoughts.
But can't we all though?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I want you to be safe being on the road tonight. I'm not saying that you're going to get up out of here, but Lord knows I do.
Oh, I am. I said 10 o'clock.
What's going on with the uncles? Are they not going to do it tonight or what?
No, not here. They I got to go. I got to pack up everything. I got to, y'all. I hope y'all appreciate my commitment to this because I be packing up all this equipment. And I don't just stream from my phone. I legit have laptop, ring lights, mics, cords. I got a mixer. I got a lot of stuff. And I pack it up and I travel with it just in case I'm going to be out of town and need to do a show. So I hope y'all see that and receive that as my level of commitment to all of you guys. So, I feel good. I'm glad I was able to do the show, and thank you again so much.
Out here on YouTube is Lady Fresh from
I
the
love you.
This Ain't That.
This ain't that.
Is bow.
I love my Eve. Man, oh man, I don't know what I wouldn't have been able to do this live without her. She really came through for me big time today. I wanted to be here for you guys. Didn't have any content, and she gave me a topic, and she came through. She delivered. She did everything I needed her to do. Shout out to Fresh Breezy, my king. Thank you so much for coming through, dropping some gems, letting them know that Lady Fresh is pretty much the same person you see here as I am at home. A couple more shout outs. Thank you to everybody who showed up tonight. For all the first time visitors that came over. Omni versus Gaming. Thank you so much for coming through. My Lotus Flower Bomb. Thank you. Jay Savage, 1/3 of the Drunkles. Thank you for popping in. I did see Bonnet. Willie 3, thank you so much. I know you're working and you still took the time to watch Lady Fresh tonight. Thank you so much. Eve, love you too, sis. Thank you so much for coming up and being all of you. Like, I really appreciate you, and I respect you so much for, your contribution to the YouTube streets. If you guys didn't know, Eve has been very instrumental in these YouTube streets, So I take a lot of what she says to heart. I appreciate a lot of what advice that she's given, and I love her energy. I've seen her on some lives where she's had to get really live, but she's never given me anything but respect and shown love. And I can respect that, and I appreciate it. So, Bonnet Light Body, thanks so much for coming through. Thank you for everybody that's not in the chat. I know my sister's watching. Thank you for my Cash App. My one Cash App I got today came from my sister, who is a huge supporter. Thank you so much, big sis. I appreciate you, and your support is unwavering. So thank you again. Eve says like, share, subscribe. So follow her instructions. But again, thanks so much for tuning in. Next Wednesday's episode is going to be with Rich Verbs. He is an artist, rap artist from New York, but he's now, I believe, in Dallas. Yes, he's in Dallas. So he's going to be joining us next week, and he's going to be talking about his new podcast, 2 Ps and a Podcast. I love that name. It's so dope. But yes, 2 Ps in a Podcast. He's going to be here next week. Next Wednesday, I believe, at 5 p.m. Central. So that's 6 p.m. Eastern. Again, thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the love. I know this wasn't a scheduled live, but you guys showed up like it was anyway. So thank you. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't forget to tune in next Wednesday. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. I'm going to keep trying to come back with great content and, making you guys proud and giving you things that you want to watch, So I'm going to play a couple songs, and then I'm going to get out of here. So you guys have a good night.
Look, let me get it down. Free snoozing this bitch.
Rick, and that is on the beat.
That's the movie, nigga. You ain't never seen your dog die, nigga. You ain't never crossed the line just to fire at niggas. You ain't never caught a fade out just to line that nigga. I was sitting in the bounty where my heart at, nigga. No cuts, 100 shots, I leave them touched. In my city ain't no if or buts. I was a runt, now I'm smoking on them cookie runts. And now I'm pumped, got me smoking on them cookie runts. And now I'm pumped, huh? Keep that thing up on my hip or I can't sleep at night. Got me slime with them killers trying to take a life. Gotta take the repercussions, it don't go down right. I ain't telling on my brothers, rather do a life. You ain't never seen the brain splash from the metal. Never had to put your foot into that fucking metal. In the courtroom trying to see my moms, they wouldn't let them. Beating on your chest and hoping that it's in the rhythm. They'll never get the chance to let a nigga breathe. Solidified in my circle, ain't no other team. Gotta keep the 9 on them, cause they enemies. They'll never speak, I can't let them breathe. Hell nah, you can't fuck with me. I'm the nigga in these streets, you can't just talk about me. Hell nah, you can't fuck with me. I'm the nigga in these streets, you can't just talk about me.
I'm all in, catch me at the casino. Learned how to whip in the kitchen, get packs from Migos. A young buck, watching the OGs move by the kilos. Dumb as fuck, if you run up, get shot like free throws. Brothers with whatever, no plan, they quick to rush in. Homegrown cook, I can smell it fresh out the oven. Dope dick, serve it to her, yeah, I give her stuff in. Trying to get paid and maneuver, ain't no assumptions. Niggas pillow talking, we sparking, we not with talking. Growing up was rugged, I felt like I was a target. I make a phone call, my niggas gon' come and drop them. I told you from the jump, man, you niggas don't want no problems.
Whoa, I just woke up baking about a pound of weed. Whoa, I just pull up with that motherfucking chopper pole. Set him up and knock him down just like a domino. Little hoe, if you fucking let me know. I just woke up baking about a pound of weed. Whoa, I just pull up with that motherfucking chopper pole. Set him up and knock him down just like a domino. Little hoe, if you fucking let me know.
Bitch, let me know if you fucking right now, cause I need a bag and I need it right now. She ain't about a bag and I'm turning her down. Shout to the bitch, I was talking too loud. Shout to the bell, you were talking too loud. Shout to the party, I shot me a host. Popped the back Jimmy like, give me a 2-piece. I mind my nigga was funk at the door. I kicked down the door with the blood on the floor. Had to pop me a nigga holding out on the door. I tripped on my bitch, had his spaz on the hoe. Trying to play with a P holding out on the door. Make sure you legit when you get.
Tremendous blessing to me, my family, my life, and I appreciate it.
Let's cut that back. You know, like I said, I always try to express my appreciation. You know, to everybody. You know, it's a lot of
Fresh perspective, real empowerment, you better be respected. Lady Fresh on the motherfucking check-in. Weezy got her back, she stay protected. This is fresh perspective, real empowerment, you better be respected. This for the geniuses to get you through the night, man. Not for the haters, bet you they don't come outside.
Rock bottle on the track, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Lady Fresh, keep it real, and that's a fact. She gon' tell it like it is, that's just that on that. Yeah, that's just that on that. This the Fresh perspective with Lady Fresh. Lady Fresh, keep it real, and that's a fact. She gon' tell it like it is, that's just that on that. Yeah, that's just that on that. Tune in every week, rockin' with Lady Fresh.